more nice breath, you guys. And again, use your hands to help you up. Woohoo! Okay, release it all the way back and take a little cat and cow stretch or cat stretch only if you want to. And we're going to come into our deeper quadricep, hip flexors. Again, so good for us if you specifically sit a lot, but if you walk or run or bike a lot too. So right foot's going to be forward. This leg's going to kind of come out a little bit. We're just going to reach it out and we'll come forward so we can come into the hip flexor. Just really important, you guys, to think about is this psoas muscle right here. So you're not just stretching outside, but right down the inside. So it feels like your inner thigh is going down and back. And that's going to really help stretch the psoas. So keep pulling that inner thigh back as you move your pelvis forward, that left hip forward. And just keep trying to feel that stretch. So you're going to feel eventually the top of your thigh is coming down. So I look at some students, I can't see everybody, but when I look out at some students, they're back like this on their knee and they're stretching. It might be into the back too much. If you don't have the ability yet, I understand that, but just try to get your thigh to come, toward the floor. And for this next part with the quad, if you're able to do it and you want to do it, you bend the knee and you come to the top above your kneecap, right? So you come to that flat part. So you shouldn't be on the knee. If you're on the knee, it's really going to hurt and it's not going to feel good. And you can use your right hand to grab hold of your foot and you squeeze your foot using your hands, but also using your leg strength. Your back of your heel, your calf, back of your knee bends more. So you kind of muscle into the fold of the knee and get the ankle right into your bum. And if you are willing, you move your thigh closer to the floor. It's almost like you're going to lay down flat on your belly. And you keep that foot in place and you keep stretching that inner thigh back, that left inner thigh back. And you should feel a good length to the front of the thigh. But if you let go of your foot, if it pops out really fast, that's not building strength. So you want to try to hold the foot in without your hand, right? If that causes crimping, of course, let go. But, you want to use your muscles. So hug in and then slowly release. Woo! Good one, good one. That's also very good for the stomach and digestion. We keep those quads and hip flexors stretched. So let's go ahead to the side two and we'll come into side two. And again, this is a good stretch. Definitely want to work on balance, stability, and alignment. So your hips shouldn't slant over to the side. Keep that tailbone nice and long. And this foot's going to come out a little bit, knee's going to come out. And just that reminder, inner thigh pulls back, it pulls down. As your pelvis comes forward, you keep that belly drawn in. And so you start to come forward and you move your thigh. You can slide your shin back, but you're moving your thigh like you're going to lay down or you're pressing it toward the floor. Keep that inner thigh stretching back. And then you'll use your left hand to bend that knee and grab the foot, right? So if you have to go back there, you turn back to get it. That's totally fine. Just continue to bring it into adjustment. This is just how we fix the body. Okay, we bring it into alignment. You bring your foot into the right place. Your shin comes in behind your thigh. You practice the fold of the knee. Your belly turns, your chest turns, and then you start to come down with your body. Okay, so your chest comes toward the floor and your thigh comes toward the floor and you're breathing, of course. And you try to hold that foot and leg in by activating the crease behind the knee. And you want to use your muscles more than your hand. Okay, so as if you let go, it would still be there. And one. Beautiful stretch, you guys. All right, so we're going to come down into Baddha Konasana, and then we'll come down into the back and do our stretches that way. For the spine seated though, practice Baddha Konasana in a seated twist. So just walk your pelvis as close to your heels as you can make it, okay? So keep walking your pelvis forward. Grab hold of the feet if you can, or the ankles. Press the pinky toes to the floor. As you push your pinky toes down, your knees are gonna press down. You're gonna open up through the hips. Keep grounding your hips and lift through the spine, and everybody super spread the chest and the throat. So super spread chest and throat. And breathe in and breathe out. So do a couple variations of Baddha Konasana. First one, we come down and squeeze the belly and stretch your spine. So bow your head, and this is abdominal crunch work. So crunch your abs just like the way you bend your knees. You're bending and creasing into the belly. So fold into the belly. Relax neck and shoulders as you do this, and keep squeezing the tummy on the right side and on the left side. Breathe deeply. Release the hands back, but keep your feet as they are. And we come up into a lift of the hips, okay? So I have my fingers turned out here on this, but you can turn them whichever way works for you. I'm just gonna keep the spread of the stretch of the shoulders and then lifting the hips open. Now the knees are pressing backwards while the hips are coming forward. Inner thighs down, and breathe deeply. Stretch chest as much as you like. Beautiful. Releasing it down, and you're still in Baddha Konasana as we come down to the floor. So just again, a few variations here. So you lie down, and you'll bend your right knee to the ceiling, the right foot flat. So you press the sole of the left foot against the inside of the knee, and fold into this right hip flexor, and keep your sacrum as flat as you can. So don't roll over to one side. Keep that lower belly, lower back. If you need help, you just put your fingers, plug your fingers right into the lower belly. So you hold that right side down. Squeeze into that hip flexor, fold it in. And then open up the right knee, that right hip, and do the same with that left. Okay, so you don't roll over to the side, you're just rotating the leg and flattening out the foot, drawing the belly in, and hugging into this left hip flexor. Breathing in, breathing out. Again, shoulders rolled back. Open up again, and one more Baddha Konasana variation here, where the hips are open and your elbows dig back. So push your elbows back, you guys, push your shoulders back, and push your head back. Okay, so if you're like me and your head's off to the side, just kind of put your head right in the center, so you push back, and then lift your hips up off the floor, and let your knees open out. Just breathe in, breathe out. Draw the belly in strong, and then lower down, close the knees in, and rock yourself up to seated. Nice. Okay, and we're gonna take our seated twist here, where that right knee bends in and that left foot is over it. And so I'm gonna be a little bit more specific than I usually am with this, sometimes I'm too specific, but this knee is pointing to the middle front of your mat. Okay, so the kneecap is there. It's not off to the side pointing at the corner. So do your best to get it like that, and this foot here. This foot is gonna be kind of hooked just an inch or two above the knee, the ankle or the shin. So that foot is down. And you wanna sit up as tall as you can, pull the pelvis in. Now activate that pelvic floor. We did that work last week for the chakras, right? The body lock. So that root chakra is locking and pressing down, navel is locking, and throat is locking. You're gonna take this right arm up and stretch the shoulder and the chest. You're gonna bring that armpit and chest all the way across. Okay, so try to get that armpit and chest over, and then slide down. So it's not like here at the elbow. You wanna try to go to the armpit, and then reach for the knee or the ankle, and push your chest up and move your spine straight up and into a twist. Straight up and into a twist. little bit deeper of a twist. And we'll try it on the other side. So again, left knee, we'll just realign it. Left knee points to the front of your mat. Right foot, ankle bone, shin bone, right above the knee there. Activate your root chakra, so sitting bones down. And this shoulder, upper back, armpit to the outside of the leg. Grab the knee or the ankle. Can't really grab the ankle on this side. And suck the belly in and twist. So push your spine up and twist. And push that spine up and twist. And release. So really push that spine a little bit in that stretch. So make sure your strap's available. Maybe even your yoga block as we come down onto the floor. Okay, so just gonna make our way down on the floor. Just try to keep your back, your sacrum. Again, the sacrum is below the belt line, above the bone crack, right there on the right and left side. Root your sacrum down. So this here is gonna be flat. You don't want it curled up. You do want to suck it in when we're doing Pilates and you're getting the legs moving and stuff like that. But right now we're just keeping it flat and strong so the pelvis is strong. So get that nice and ironed out, unzipped, pelvic floor strong, and draw your navel to the floor. Move the shoulders back. Now, hopefully you guys can see this or understand this continuously. Your hip bones on the side, the pelvic bones, will start to slide like a wiggle, right? So when you lift your right knee or leg up, your right hip will start to rise up as well. Want you guys to keep the sides of your hip bones, your pelvic bones, charging away from your waist. This is key for this stretch. You'll get a really good stretch if you can do that, but it's a lot of core work. Your left leg is going to come down to the ground, so this is core work. Your right knee is going to start to pull in. Now hold your pelvic bones, right? Don't use your hands for your legs just yet. Use your hands to pull your hip bones away from your waist. Don't tip them into a pelvic tilt. Don't start to curl that lower belly and the pubic bone. Lengthen your pelvis as if you can take your hip bones off your body like you're pulling down a pair of pants, okay? So you just stretch the right hip and the left hip down. Now, if you need to use your hands there, you keep using your hands. But if you can keep your hips doing that, grab your right knee and pull it in. So a lot of times we'll yank the knee up like this by pulling the hip up. And the knee gets closer. And it distorts your back and it creates this weakness in the back and of course in the core. So draw the belly in, keep that pelvis long, and charge into the proper area, the quadricep, the hip flexor, and feel like your knee can come in more, even if it doesn't really move. Like I get stuck on one side more than another, and it can get frustrating, but just breathe and know you're doing a good thing here. Now you're gonna take that knee with the opposite hand and pull that knee across to the opposite shoulder. Same deal here. If you want to use that right hand to keep your hip down, don't let your hip follow. Keep your pelvis on the floor as you draw that knee across to the left shoulder. Breathe in, breathe out. Sacrum stays on the ground. And then we'll stretch the hamstring. So if you want to hook the strap around your right foot, you can do that. If you want to grab the leg, you can do it that way. That's fine. Again, don't distort your pelvis, or do your best to keep them aligned. Just continue to align, align, align. Pull the leg in. And again, you guys want to stretch out the back of the knee. So think of it this way. Think about kicking this lower leg toward you more and pressing your upper thigh away from you more. And see if that might help you to feel stronger or a better stretch. Maybe help you stabilize your pelvis a little bit more. So foot, ankle, shin bone toward you. Thigh bone feels like it's connecting back. You breathe in, breathe out. Just keep trying to get that stretch. Good. We're going to come into that IT band stretch. So the strap's going to go on the left hand. Again, keep this hip long. Keep that other leg from rolling out. Roll into the side and bring that right across here. And so you keep the sacrum on the ground, you squeeze the lower leg to the floor, and you almost feel like this upper thigh is not going down. You want to feel like it's just kind of stretching and strengthening while the lower leg goes down. So it almost feels like it's stable. Sometimes if you let that upper thigh do the stretching, it pulls your hip with it too much. So you squeeze that lower leg. And then release. Good job. And we'll bring that leg into the switch. And again, use your hands on your pelvis to anchor, pull, elongate while you charge your left knee in, okay? So this is a lot of what we try to practice in our Pilates, is to keep that nice and strong. Okay, but in these stretches here for yoga, we work on the range with our strength. So go ahead and grab the knee. And again, don't let that left hip rise with the knee. It's the left hip is going away from the knee in the opposite direction. It's going down while the knee is charging up. And that helps to build your strength, traction. It's your core work. You'll feel really, really strong in the center. So keep trying to charge that left. So like I have a weakness, of course, on the injury on this side. I know you guys are sick of hearing me say that. But I just say it to let you know that I hold the hip on this side with my hands because I don't have the ability, maybe I don't have the patience, I don't know what it is, right, to hold the hip on its own and draw the knee in a little bit more. So I work on it. It really works, you guys. Again, I come from injury. I have rehabbed using all these Pilates techniques. So very, very good to keep stabilizing and strengthening. I'm going to pull the knee to the opposite shoulder. Again, keep that hip down in place so your pelvis is steady. And you draw the knee to the right shoulder and keep pulling that hip away. Shoulders open. Keep pulling that leg a little bit more. Nice. And we'll take it to our hamstring stretch. So again, when you're ready, use the yoga strap there. Kick that leg up nice and high. And go ahead and grab the leg with your strap or your hands. And on my strap, I can't grab my foot, so I'm going to just grab my leg. And again, think about the shin, lower leg coming towards you, upper thigh pressing away. You want to keep feeling that stretch, okay? So keep feeling that strength and that pull. Shin coming towards you, upper thigh away. Take a Tai Chi band, so when you're ready, take that leg across. And again, letting that lower leg bone come down, your foot and ankle bone come down. Feel like this femur bone is like in place or just, you know, rooted into the hip for a bit. Not too stiff, but you know, you just want to keep that placement. Bring that shin in. Just breathe in, breathe out. Try not to let the ankle turn. Beautiful. All right. Let's release that in and we'll come into our spinal stretch. So I'm going to have legs overhead, but if you'd rather sit up and do forward stretch, right? Head to knee that way. If you are here and doing it this way, again, your hips, pelvis nice and steady, legs nice and strong, shoulders and chest open, and squeeze the abs. Down one vertebrae at a time. And thoracic spine twist. We're going to use the yoga block. If you don't have it, don't worry about it. But if you have a block or a cushion or something, you put it next to your right hip, but off out a little bit because your knee is going to rest on it. And your right leg is going to go on the ground, and the left knee is going to come over and across and rest on top of the block, okay? So that your hips are stacked. And you're going to hold that knee on the block or the cushion or just dangle it in the air. The bottom leg's going to go back, so it's going to be cat pulling its tail. So you're going to reach with your left hand to your bottom foot, okay? And you're going to pull that bottom foot all the way back. And just like we did, like in that stretch where you were kneeling and catching your foot, that inner thigh goes back and you're stretching the quad and the belly. You're going to turn your chest to the ceiling and try to get your left shoulder to the floor and your right foot to the floor and your belly is in. And notice if your hip is rising and try to keep your pelvis long and the sides of your waist long as you do this. So breathing deeply. Release. We'll try it on the other side. It's our last stretch here, you guys. So come into the center, block to the left side, left leg straight, right knee comes up, and it comes over and on the block. Okay. So again, the hip might have a tendency to rise up to the waist or stick up there. So you're going to just try to elongate or stretch the size of the waist. Hold the knee in place. Bottom leg goes back. Grab hold of it. Pull the inner thigh back. Really get that stretch. Now when you did those quad stretches before, you knew one quad was tighter than the other. You felt it. So, you know, this will be more challenging based on your tighter quad. Just kind of get that understanding and try to keep stretching your leg back a little bit more. Hug the belly in, elongate the waist, and push that right shoulder to the floor along with your left foot. Waist long and breathe. So you keep finding that energy to move the shoulder down, twist your chest. Try not to let it happen at your rib cage. So if you notice that you're getting wiggly in the ribs, hold the waist strong and move from the chest, shoulders, thoracic spine. So just think about it. Am I moving my shoulders from my rib cage or my waist? Am I moving my shoulders from the shoulders, from the chest? Ready, release, unwind, and we'll adjust everything in the center. So come into the center, make sure your hips are even with each other and elongated. Stretch your back, so feel your back ribs open and aligned, wide. Widen the front of the chest and the back of the chest, widen the shoulders. Let your right leg go out to the right, left leg go out to the left. The arms relax. Thumbs roll out, armpits open, head is in the center, throat is open, jaw is relaxed. Close your eyes and turn all of your attention to your inhale and to your exhale. Soften the body. Let your arms and legs drop, hands and feet drop. Your shoulders release back and roll back even more. Let your ears and head roll back even more. Keep turning your attention to the sensation of your inhale and your exhale. Center so it doesn't turn to the right or to the left. Let your eyes rest either to the tip of your nose or the center of the forehead. Let the tongue relax in the mouth, jaw, and keep space at the back of the throat. Eyes are soft. Face feels like it's just about to smile. Each time you inhale, you think, smile. As you exhale, think, release. Let go of everything, every bit of tension in your belly, shoulders, neck, and your spine. takes some time and patience just as we build our strength. It's time and patience, practice. This takes practice as well. Continue to release the hips, the belly, chest, neck, upper back, and shoulders. Let the top of your head roll back even more, relaxing forehead. Keep your mind on your breath for the next few moments. And set an intention for yourself today. You can have an intention to be more patient. Could be to have more energy to get more done today. If you feel like you don't get things done because you have a tendency to be distracted, so maybe be more focused. Maybe you do work very hard, you don't take a break, so maybe it would be to take breaks today. So whatever it is for you that you know will bring balance into your life. It's pretty much the opposite of what you always do. And then when you're ready to come out of Shavasana, just start to move your hands and your feet, blink open the eyes, keep that relaxation, keep that intention in mind as you breathe, and just start to move and bring the knees into the chest and rock a little side to side. Roll to your side for a little bit, so hang out on your side for a little bit before you come up to seated. Do come up to seated, just take a few moments to ground through the pelvis. So your pelvis is down, the waist is long along the front, the sides, and the back. The chest is nicely open, right? So we did a good opening. And the neck, again, is extended through the crown of the head, hands together. The sides of the thumbs touch the sternum. Keep lifting the sternum. So you're just going to use your hands here to guide the sternum up. Keep it nice and open. And continue to connect with the breath evenly. Continue to connect with that intention for the day. Again, anytime you want to do something that is your habit, your intention, you could use just absolute opposite of what you always do. And that'll bring balance into your life. Thank you guys for joining this morning. Namaste. Have a great day. Good seeing everybody. Or good seeing some of you guys' ceilings. Bye. See you next time. Who's in there, Melissa? I thought I saw Gail in there. Did I see Gail? She was in there. Hi, Gail. There she is. You're on mute. Let me see. Let me see if I can unmute you. Did I unmute you? There you are. Hi, Gail.
Are you there?
Yeah.
Yeah. I had trouble with my audio.
Oh, shoot. Were you not able to hear me?
I couldn't really hear too well. That's why you were on the couch.
Oh.
And I was trying to listen.
So I was relaxing.
Yeah.
Your couch is...
I did it.
Good. Thanks, Gail. Thanks for joining. See you next time.
Bye.
Bye.